Hello, BE 1251. My name is Courtney Frost, and I am the career coach for the College of Engineering. I'm really excited to be able to record this for you so you can watch on your Moodle site. And thank you to Nick for asking me to make this presentation for y'all. Today, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an overview of the Olinde Career Center and the services that we offer, different things that you can do to prepare for any internships or other opportunities that you might be looking for as you pursue jobs in industry, graduate school, or professional school, and then a little bit about what is in Handshake and how to reach out to me. So to give you an idea of what the Olinde Career Center does, our mission is to assist students in obtaining their career-related goals. So our mission statement is up on the screen, and you can see exactly what it says, but essentially what it means is that we are here to help you in whatever that next step in your career is. So whether that be deciding on a career, solidifying your major, finding experiences that relate to what you want to do after graduation, securing that first full-time job after graduation, or admission into graduate or professional school. So whatever your goals may be, we are here to help all students, no matter what their major or classification or degree level. This is a little flowchart of what our office looks like and to give you an understanding of all the different things that we do. So starting on the left-hand side of the screen, we have our employer development and relations team. So employer relations and employer development. So our employer development team goes out and talks to different employers and says, hey, you should come recruit LSU students for these reasons, and this is how we can help you obtain your staffing goals. And our employer relations team helps those employers who engage at LSU's campus with their recruiting efforts to make sure that they're able to reach the students that they are looking to get in front of, and that they're having a good experience at LSU so that they continue to come back, post their jobs on our Handshake platform, attend our recruitment events, and engage with our student organizations. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have our student services team, which is broken down into career decision-making, and these are the folks that specialize in helping you choose a major, helping you choose a career, and looking at assessment results and interpreting them with you. And then the job search team, that's the team that I'm on, and it basically means that everything after you make that decision about your major and your career, then we come in and help you out. So whether that's making a resume, preparing for an interview, figuring out how to find opportunities of interest to you, all of those things happen with the job search team. And then in the middle, we have our operations crew, and these help us run the center and kind of day-to-day operations. So all of our communications happen with the operations team, our money, our staffing, assessment and data analytics, all of those good things happen with our operations team. And they help us do all of the great work that we do every day and help support you. So you can see on the screen some kind of numbers of what it looks like and breaks down to with our recruitment events, 14 plus recruitment events each year. We have 2,200 interviews in our on-campus interviewing program, and then we have just under 7,000 appointments per year. And you can see the different types of appointments that we offer to students, everywhere from choosing a major all the way to reviewing personal statements, or preparing for a job search. And the link to Handshake is on the screen. You can schedule an appointment with an OCC team member via Handshake for any of these topics. All right, so moving on to how you can prepare for your career goals after graduation. So whether you want to go to medical school, go to another professional graduate program, or another master's program, or you want to go straight to work after graduation here at LSU, these are resources that can help you explore your career options. So the first one that I always like to point students to is the ONET. So the ONET is a resource provided by the federal government where they analyze lots of labor data and figure out what are certain job titles that are associated with an occupation, what that occupation does, and gives you lots and lots and lots of information about those occupations. So for this one on the screen, we're looking at a biomedical engineer page, and that first little paragraph at the top that's circled in red in that first circle is like a 2-sentence, 1-sentence summary of what a biomedical engineer does. And it's just really helpful to get a very basic understanding of that occupation. The second circle, where it says sample of reported job titles, that is exactly what it says. It will give you specific job titles that people hold within this occupation, and you can take these and plug them directly into Handshake or Indeed or LinkedIn or any other job search kind of engine and see what postings come up. So it's very, very helpful when you're trying to figure out what search terms to use to get the opportunities to show up on your search engine that you're looking for. And then this last circle is going to show you all of the sections that this page will talk about. So tasks, technology, tools, knowledge, skills, abilities, work activities, on and on and on. So you can go through this and learn so much about being a biomedical engineer and kind of see if this is something that you want to continue to explore. But it's a really great resource and very kind of low commitment. Just read through one web page and kind of get a good understanding of a specific occupation. Next, we have the Occupational Outlook Handbook, or the OOH. And this is a very similar resource also provided by the federal government, but a different agency, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And this is very similar information-wise, but it writes in kind of full sentences and paragraphs. And so if you're a bullet point person, the ONET is probably what you're looking for. But if you like something a little bit more expansive in how they're talking about things, then the OOH is what you would probably want to go to. But it has all these tabs at the top of the page. And the three that I want to point out to you are what they do. So this is going to give you a good summary of what a biomedical engineer does, how to become one. And this is going to lay out like step by step what it takes to become a biomedical engineer, and then similar occupations. I really like this similar occupations page better than the ONET because it's going to give you kind of a graph and lay out like what is the title, what is a 1 sentence of what they do, what is the starting salary, and the entry-level education that you need. So you can definitely utilize both. You might play around in both and see which one you like better, but they do present very similar information. So you don't need to look at both of them all the time. And then we have LinkedIn, which everybody knows as kind of a job search tool, but not everybody knows as a research tool and networking tool. So what I have on the screen here is a screenshot of biomedical engineering under people. So on LinkedIn, you can search in several different areas. So you can look in jobs, in people, in groups, and other areas. Those are the top 3 that you're going to want to look at: jobs, people, and groups, because those are going to be the most helpful for you. In jobs, obviously, you'll be able to see biomedical engineering jobs that are posted right at that moment that you're searching, and companies that are looking for people. For people, you're going to be able to see that there are 600,000 results that come up with biomedical engineering on LinkedIn. So that is a lot of people that you can look at their profile, reach out to them, ask to speak to them, and learn a lot about biomedical engineering. This is a really underrated tool for LinkedIn, and I highly recommend that you search around on LinkedIn and look at people's profiles and read what they're doing, because that's going to give you a good idea of what a day-to-day looks like. What are people actually doing out in the field in biomedical engineering? You also want to use this tool to conduct informational interviews. And so an informational interview is where you as the student get to ask the professional about their career trajectory, about their industry, about their work. You're just looking for information and advice. You do not want to ask anybody for a job on LinkedIn, because the answer is probably going to be no. It puts people on the spot and they get very uncomfortable. And so that's not an ideal networking situation. For networking, you want to ask for information and advice and build relationships in your field. So LinkedIn is a great way to utilize this. And then looking in groups is going to give you access to message more people without the special like paid LinkedIn accounts. So those are very, very helpful tools. So make sure that you create a LinkedIn account, that you fill out your profile fully, and that you utilize this tool to its fullest extent. And if you want to talk more about how to use this in an internship or job search, you can feel free to schedule an appointment with me or any of my colleagues, and we can go through this with you. All right, So on the screen now is the top 8 skill sets that employers look for when looking to hire a college graduate. And you'll see that none of these are particularly relevant to any one specific career path. So what I mean by that is that it's not specific to engineering, it's not specific to accounting. These are things that are applicable to all people going into the workforce. And so these are definitely things that you want to make sure that you feel confident in, and that these are skills that you have and are able to utilize, and that you're able to articulate how you have these skills when you're writing a resume, when you're speaking to employers, when you're interviewing, all of those things. So you can see here that they are mostly what people refer to as soft skills. So being a good team worker, being a good leader, being a good problem solver, communicating well. All of these things are really critical in being successful in the workforce. So an example that I like to use a lot with my students is the communication skill set. So I tell students that if I cannot convey well how to write a strong resume to my students, then I'm not being a good communicator, and that means that I am not being a good career coach. And if an engineer cannot adequately explain their designs to their client who doesn't have a technical background, then that engineer is not being a good communicator and is not doing their job well either. So that's just one example of how one skill set is going to be applicable to two very different positions, a career coach and an engineer, and how these are just widespread in the industry, and you need to be able to have a high level of skill in each of these areas. What I always recommend to students is to reflect and think about, how well can I communicate? How well do I work in a team? How would I say that I do with my leadership skills? And be very honest with yourself, because you need to understand where you are so that you can make a game plan of how you're going to go forward. So if I say that I don't really feel comfortable taking a leadership role in any sort of way, whether that be a formal leadership role in a student org or just taking lead on one meeting in a group project, if I don't feel comfortable in any of those situations, then I might say I have a very low ability with leadership, and how am I going to get myself more comfortable and competent in that area? So it's okay if you say, well, I don't really feel particularly strong in any of these or any given one of these. It's okay to say that, but you need to be able to make a game plan and look for ways to make yourself more confident and stronger in that area, because these are definitely skills that employers look for. By the way, these skills, they come from our national association. It's called the National Association of Colleges and Employers. And these come from an annual survey that NACE does every year to employers. So while they survey them every year, these are the top 8. Sometimes they change in order a little bit, but for years now, these have been the top 8 skill sets that employers are looking for. So they're here to stay. And so you'll want to make sure that you feel really confident in each of these. Awesome. So utilizing Handshake. Handshake is a really great tool to use, especially as you're a student at LSU. The benefit of Handshake as a job search tool over another platform like LinkedIn is that Handshake is going to be specifically opportunities for people at a university. So undergraduate students in particular, and graduate students, so specifically people in a degree program right now. And so that means that you don't have to filter through all of the higher level roles that companies might also be hiring for in order to find the positions that are appropriate for an entry level person. But Handshake is a multifaceted tool like LinkedIn. It provides a lot of different ways that you can utilize it, and we'll go over a little bit about that. So the first one is finding opportunities, jobs, and you'll see that on that first button, there's like a row of boxes, and the first one says jobs. This is where you find internships, co-ops, full-time jobs, and different opportunities like that. So when you're looking for an internship or looking for a part-time job, a full-time job, anything along those lines, Handshake should be your first stop, because these are, one, opportunities that are going to be appropriate for the level that you're looking for. And 2, these are going to be employers that specifically said they want to advertise their position to LSU students. So definitely use Handshake as your first stop, but not your only stop. on your job search process. So you can find jobs here. You can also research employers. So we have the employer box right next to the job search box. You can research different companies that are relevant to your industry, that are relevant to your major, that are located where you want to be. Handshake has, I believe, over 500,000 employers in its system. And so there's just a massive amount of opportunity for you to look for employers and kind of develop a list of your top 10, top 20, top 30 companies that you would like to work for. And so you can research companies utilizing Handshake. Then we have community, and this is where you can network with other students and alumni, and not just at LSU, but also at other Handshake schools. Handshake is a platform that is used across the country at many, many different colleges and universities. And so you can look to see, let's say you want to work for Johnson & Johnson. If you go to community and you type in Johnson & Johnson, you'll see which students at LSU and which students at other universities across the country have worked at that company. And you can look at their profile, you can reach out to them for informational interviews and learn about their career trajectory and what made them a competitive candidate and ultimately a successful candidate for an opportunity at a company that you're interested in. So community is very much similar to LinkedIn in that you can look at other people's profiles, research different career trajectories and majors, and see what other people have been doing. Career Paths is going to give you a way to explore different occupations and career paths. And so you can see, okay, this is what it means to be a biomedical engineer. These are different jobs posted on Handshake that are relevant to this, and this is the kind of career path towards this. It will also give you salary information. You do want to make sure to know that that is national data, and so it will change based on geographic location. So a biomedical engineer in San Francisco is going to make something different than one in Austin or one in New Orleans. And so you want to make sure to kind of take that data and understand its context. Then we have events. This is going to be both recruitment events, which are called career fairs in Handshake. So our 14 plus recruitment events that we have each year, those are going to be in Handshake, and then also any programs that our office puts on. So maybe we're doing a resume workshop, that will be under events. And then any events that employers want to do. So oftentimes employers will host information sessions or talk about a specific like educational topic, like how to write a resume. And so any event that you're interested in attending, you can find under the events tab of Handshake. You want to register for it, and that way you'll get the information to log into the Zoom chat or whatever platform they are using, or find where their session is going to be. And then finally, we have the Career Center tab, and that will connect you with my office. You'll be able to schedule an appointment through the Career Center tab, look at the information about the Olinde Career Center, and all of that good stuff. You'll also be able to see a full staff listing on that page. All right, so we've quickly covered the services that the Olinde Career Center offers. So again, that would be appointments, recruitment events, programming, all of that good stuff. We covered how to explore different career options to kind of prepare you for your search as you look forward to what you're going to pursue after graduation. And we have talked about the Handshake system and how to schedule an appointment and everything else that goes into Handshake. On the screen right now, you'll see my name and title and email address. If you have quick questions or just want to reach out to me, email is the best way to reach me right now because I'm not always on campus. And my email address is cfrost6@lsu.edu. Or you can always schedule an appointment with me through Handshake. Thank you so much for all your attention. I really am enjoying presenting to you in this way. Please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you out with any of your career questions or concerns, and kind of help you out towards your career goals. Thanks, and have a great day.